Hello, my beautiful souls. What's up? How are you doing? So, today we're going to discuss about a topic which is slightly different from the first one, but very helpful as well. So, today we're going to talk about spirituality and why it's important into our lives and how it enhance our lives and probably could actually make us realize that you know what? I found a better meaning into this life rather than anything else. And this is a guide how to find your own meaning too. So stay tuned to that because I think it's going to be very valuable. So let's think for the first perspective. Let's think for the starters and let's think overall what we can actually offer into this. So have you ever asked yourself that what is my most preferable life that I want to live? What is my best case scenario? What is my most insane dream? A lot of people they can actually answer that. And to me, I can answer to you. My dream on a realistic perspective would be to own some houses, to live in whatever place I want to travel the whole world, to meet a lot of bunch of different people and to have fun, to have parties, to meet a lot of different cultures, civilizations, to learn about them, to date a lot of girls, let's say for example, and to play music, to learn more and more and more, even to talk a lot of languages. Why not? There's a lot of things that I want to do to have an amazing physique and to be healthy, to have energy to do all this kind of stuff, and to not have enemies, let's say, and to give this kind of positive energy to everyone else. But what did I said there? I've said so many things about materialistic stuff. And a lot of people, this is how they will start. This is how I started too. I'm going to be honest with you. So this is the perspective, and this is how we think. This is what we think into this question. This is what goes on into our minds. We think, and that's not a bad idea, but we think subconsciously that our happiness is coming from materialistic ideals, from houses, from yachts, for example. I don't know when it came up. From buying a helicopter. Who doesn't want a helicopter, to be honest with you? Everyone does. Ask them, go and do it. But the thing is, imagine that you have a genie right there. Imagine this is a genie. And this genie tells you that, you know what, motherfucker? You have it all. You have everything what you wish for. You have everything what you like. And boom, 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 you have everything. And now what? And this is the great question that philosophy, spirituality, religion answers. And this is what I'm fascinating about. I'm a huge overthinker and I'm a huge person that I want to have 100% all steps required in order to jump into a new step, into the next step, let's say. And to me, the whole perspective of what is our purpose and what are we doing into this life serves a huge question because of course it's very easy to think that if you have this all you ain't gonna board this, you ain't gonna feel bored, you ain't gonna feel distressed, you ain't gonna feel miserable afterwards, everything's gonna be the same. I mean, you have a lot of choices but you don't solve the problem. And why do we have this problem in the first place? Is it somewhere grounded inside us? And this is the main topic, which it is, but we don't want to accept it. We don't want to take it into the next step, into the next, let's say, deep root of the problem. We don't want to enter into this place. It's very frightening to do it. We need to face our traumas in order to be there. And it's not easy, it's not a satisfying answer. We like things that they are shiny, we like things that they're cool, but we don't like this answer. So, what is my topic for today? And what is my point for today? The point which I'm trying to make into this one is how we can put spirituality into our lives and how it can actually serve us to see a step further, to beyond it, to expand our horizons of thinking and solving problems, even, and encountering everything that it comes up with us. How we can actually do that and what we can actually offer to this world. Is it this narrow minded thing or is it something more widened? We'll see right now. So, by answering this question, it has a lot of holes, to be honest. And one of the topics which I went into when I was exposed into theology mostly, especially Christianity and Orthodox Christianity, was a topic when my teacher back then was explaining stories from saints. And some stories they're hitting into my brain. I'm not going to analyze them. But the point was that people, without having a lot of things, they felt so blissful that they had everything. And other people, they could sense that, they could see that, and they were inspired into. And that's not only the saints, that's maybe Stoics, maybe yogis, maybe other style of spiritual masters or whatever. I don't think that it's only that, but I don't know. The point is that what is people that they own literally anything, they can go into the next step. They can feel so blissful. Is there something beyond the just stuff around us? And the answer is yes, definitely it is. Because realize one of the classic sins that exist into people. One of the same ones is just be a very greedful person. And not only greediness, that I want more, 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 that you don't reach into a point. It just creates a very narrow sense of what is important to us. It can be very easily stripped away, very easily. And there is infinite of examples into people that they had everything and lost it due to maybe luck or even bad management, and then they completely shattered. And even into the perspective of always you want more in order to get something this tiny of dopamine, which this is a drug, by the way. So literally this is an addiction, and we can see that. So what we can do into this perspective and how we can become more spiritual, let's say. First of all, we need to realize and understand our own needs. And by doing that, meditation and preaching really helps. So, the kind of the thing that we want to focus on in huge detail, and I'm gonna say this again, is how we can actually offer something more into our lives. How we can put this ingredient of being into the moment, to be into this present moment and to be satisfied. And I'm going to start with an example. When it was the time that the only thing that you wanted to do in your life, it was just to sit somewhere and to relax. I've said it infinite amount of times. I'm not going to lie with you. And it would be so crazy after a huge tiring day to spend it like I want to chill and to relax and to not think anything into this damn mind. So, this main topic which I want to address is how many times have we succeeded to do that? Personally speaking, not so many. I'm trying to improve into this ability. And when it was back in the day, I used to meditate a lot. I could do it way easier. Right now, which I'm going to start to get back into this, it seems to be tougher and sometimes very tough, and sometimes I'm not even making it. And I would say it's not only about bad habits or going straight up to the phone to get some cheap dopamine. It's not only that. It's how much we feel alive into ourselves. And to be honest, I don't think that the most people feel alive. If we really see ourselves even into eyes, even into physical contact, into everything, we feel like zombies. And this is quite sad. But thankfully, this is a way how to realize and understand in what state we are. And I think meditation, and a lot of people that talked about meditation, is one of the greatest things. But it's not only about meditation specifically. It's not only about to be aware with our body. It's literally to find a meaning that we're searching for in a different way. It's to find our meaning and how we can actually make ourselves enjoy this moment and into this timing for once and for all. And life is way simpler than we think about it is. It's not as complicated the most times. And being into just be able to see nature, it kind of shapes this. And I want you to go into this one by how life is simple, by how you can have and how you can be at this best moment as possible, how you can feel the top of this world. And you can do that now. The point is to have an access into this and to let yourself feel it. Because the most times we're not letting ourselves feel that because we don't think that we deserve to, or we have a lot of self beliefs that actually they're hunting us and they tear us down. They destroy us inside us, they eat us apart. And the most people, they won't really feel in connection to themselves, or they will feel literally subconsciously that, you know what, I'm a good person and I'm trying to do my best. That's why we try to avoid ourselves and we try to distract ourselves because we feel slightly guilty. We feel slightly hatred about ourselves, or maybe a lot, depends. But there is still this kind of barrier that kind of holds us up and that we cannot move forward into the next level. We hold ourselves and we don't want to make this because we don't think that we deserve this. And that's one of the greatest self sabotages that they can exist into this life, I think. And that it's not only that, I would say, is the perspective of we don't really believe that this simple stuff or this path is going to solve us because we never tried it or we never had a person to guide us into this. We never had a person that is going to be this cool, let's say, or this influential to show us the way, or to show us not necessarily the way, but to open our minds to find our own way, which is pretty tough. It's not easy to find your way because copying to other people is easy. It's very easy. But to do your own research, it requires guts, it requires sacrifice, it requires time, and it requires resources. It requires a lot of this, and mostly requires responsibility. There's a lot of people that don't want to take. We're living into a life which is a great idea to just sit back and to do nothing. It considers to be smart. Then how are you going to move and to inject yourself the idea of being fully present into the moment and to have a great life if you don't want to take it into the next level or if you don't want to embrace it into yourself? These are some thought experiments which I had, and I came up with two results, I would say, which I found on. But first of all, our mind is going to fight against the idea to be spiritual. It's going to fight it, and to find an answer that says no, everything is fine, but that's not fine. When you try to go inside you and to find an answer, try to feel as much as possible your body. Your mind is cool, but it's not your only weapon in your arsenal to be able to use it. There's a lot of useful tools to use, and it's a good thing to access into your whole body. And that's the reason why when we have sports and we play sports, we feel more aware of this place. When actually where our senses become sharper is when we use our whole body as one and not only our brain. Our brain is a part of it. So by feeling more about ourselves, and that's why training is great, playing sports is great, going outside is great, socializing is great, because you're not only using your mind. Your mind is a trap in a way, because we don't know how to use it very well. So first of all, go inside your body and ask these questions and to see what actually you have inside you. What's some main questions that you can make to get away from these typical answers that you give to the world? Hey, how are you? I'm good. Or what's up? It's fine. Go and see what is really fine and what is not fine. And then you're going to react in a different way. And as in the previous video, as I mentioned, again, you can use the same logic to audit and journal these things. Because we need information about ourselves. We're getting so much information about other people that we don't have enough for ourselves. So that's why it's a very great thing to go inside your body and to see what is right for you. For some people, meditation is amazing. For other people, preaching is awesome. So go and find your own style of approaching and realizing and having an understanding with yourself. And the second thing is that all of that things that we have by wanting more and more and more, and wanting a specific fame, specific dream to come true, is an attachment. Not attachment is not only existing with physical stuff and with people and everything else. It exists with ideas too. And we're creating this kind of fakerish images and scenarios that we want to try to live at a certain amount of time. We're losing and we're putting our focus outside of now into completely fandomish thing. And that's not only it. Maybe we will make the whole steps, but the result it will be so different. And we are dependent on things that they actually don't exist. We just chase stories of Homer, pretty much. And that's not very smart, by the way. Instead, what are we trying to do is to actually try to find the beauty into life right now and to appreciate it as much as possible. And this is a good and awesome thing to do the whole previous ideas mentioned before, and it kind of connects with this. Why? Because simply try to find meaning into small things that they don't necessarily need to have more, they solve you the problem. For example, why do I need a specific sport car in order to feel good about myself? I don't need something else, and I don't need a person. A lot of people that would say that I need a boyfriend or a girlfriend, for example, to feel fulfilled. Why? These sensations, this desire, and this happiness should come from yourself. You are the one who offers the satisfaction. Nobody else does, and nobody else can do it. Simply why? You know why? Because nobody knows what you want. You cannot fully express it because you're not, even us, we're not 1000% sure what we want. Imagine other people, what they will know. And that's why the most times, if any time, more stuff is not the answer. The answer lies somewhere else. Some is hidden inside something that it breaks us off. Something, a very misjudged idea, a very traumatic scenario, all this kind of stuff. And it's pretty tough to get away from this. I know, because everybody will have done that. But I think it's worth a shot. And it's worth a shot to go into that. So to get this straight, things are way very simpler. I'm not saying to not go and make all the money to make everything that you desire. But remember, maybe your goal that you have set to is a trap. And second, maybe your whole desire and maybe your whole happiness will come from something completely different. Maybe the meaning that you're searching is not cars or women. Maybe it's just inside you that you just want to offer some attention to yourself and to take care of yourself. That's my idea. And that's, let's say, the topic that I want to discuss because I feel it's very important. I feel it's very important to dive into this and to start thinking about these topics. Otherwise, we just gonna mindlessly go for hustle, which is never going to satisfy us, and we're gonna want more and more. We're never going to be satisfied with the results. We're never going to taste now and to taste the beauty of now. Instead, what we're going to do is just sit there, do the same thing, be anxious, having a very stressful life. And the most times for no reason, actually. It's not that someone tries to threaten us to kill us. No, we just try to hit ourselves with no reason whatsoever. Instead of hitting ourselves, metaphorically speaking, and sometimes very straightforward, the best thing to do is to observe what is our real needs instead for our fake ones. I'm gonna leave it there, and I'm gonna see you on the next time.